Tonight we will be joined by the great Tim Lattie. What an artist, an official TMNT artist. He's worked on a lot of properties. He's worked on TMNT, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe, and more. So we're in for an exciting night. Buckle up, Mutation Nation. Hold on to your shell. Let's go! Welcome to My Ninja Turtles channel. It's 9 p.m. in New York City. And this is the Ninja Turtles show. How the shell are you? Your weekly live stream every Turtle Tuesday, covering Ninja Turtles news, toys, comics, movies, TV shows. Pizza heaven! Whatever the shell we want. And tonight we have a very special guest, the great Tim Lattie. He's worked for IDW, a whole bunch of other companies, a very talented guy, a very talented artist, and a writer as well. In addition to working for all those properties, he has his own comics. He's a talented guy. So I'm very thankful he's going to join us. So type a T in the chat. T for Turtles, T for thank you, and T for Tim Lattie joining us tonight. What an exciting night. Everybody is here. Thank you all for joining me, of course. Should be pretty fun. You guys know Tim Lattie, of course. You recognize his art. He was behind Saturday Morning Adventures. He did the original miniseries. Got a great style. Oh, we got dancing. There's his art. I had to move all that stuff out of the way. Thank you all for joining me. I do appreciate it. Another Turtle Tuesday. A great artist. I'm honored he's going to be here. Been in touch with Tim for a few years, so it's nice to finally see it come around. I'm going to try and give him a call right now. I'm using some new software, so you might have to, we may have to work out a few kinks on the air. I was going to do a test run, but I said, forget it. We'll do it live. So we're trying it live right now. I'm going to give Tim Lattie a call. Hopefully this works. We'll see if this works. What is going on? Okay. Now I can see you, Tim. Can you hear me?
I gotta be able to hear you. Let's see. We're so close. We're so close.
I'm so sorry for the hassle. Can you hear me or see me?
Audio. Come on. Where are we coming from?
I can hear you and see you. Okay, I can hear and see you. So
Okay, you can hear me still.
yeah, I can hear you and see you.
Let's go.
Are you able to hear me okay?
Yeah, I think we're doing it now. I think we're actually and we're right at 10 minutes, so that's not bad for
Oh my goodness.
We're getting a live stream going. Look, my girlfriend's watching. She's in there. Everybody say hello to Rachel.
Hello, Rachel.
And she's like, oh man, he's saying this is so unprofessional. And I was so ready. I was just like, man, I kind of want to come in here and just be a dick and just like go hard at you for being 10 minutes late or not having the Zoom ready. But I don't know you like that yet.
Oh no, feel free, rip on me. I deserved it. That was my first time using Discord instead of Zoom, so it was a big failure.
No, dude, I
didn't know if you could send audio to Discord and OBS, or if it's just one of the places. So big amateur over here.
Again, I have a little a Zoomer friend who helped me do my Twitch stream, and I screwed up so many times. So I feel like that's almost like part of the game now. Like if you're going to do any kind of live stream, like you got to have that 10 minutes of screwing up.
Ugh.
So like I said, you're right on quota, you know?
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for joining me. It's an honor to finally speak with you. It's an honor to meet you. I'm very happy to talk with you tonight.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. Like I told you, we were messaging on Twitter. And a few years ago when I was doing Saturday Morning Adventures, you had done one of the funniest random like segments on me, and I loved it. I shared it with all my friends, shared it to my mom. It was just good. It was nice and weird.
That's good.
Very favorable. I appreciate that. So yeah.
Oh, of course. If I said anything critical, I didn't mean it, and you're talented. I'm not judging you at all. You're a cool guy.
Well, look, okay, so if I can, on that note, when you do this kind of gig, that just comes with the territory a lot of times. And I woke up this morning and I'm in I draw the He-Man mini comics right now. So I do a lot of the He-Man pack-in comics that come with the toys, the Origins figures.
Awesome.
And I'm in a He-Man Origins one, whatever, a little Facebook group. And dude, some dude this morning was just bashing it. He was just like, fire this guy, get rid of this dude. And I was surprisingly stoic about it. I was surprisingly unfazed. I guess just over time you get more and more used to it. So no, I'm totally fine with any kind of critique.
Oh, well, thank you
And
so much for joining me. And for anybody that doesn't know, Tim Lattie was the original artist on Saturday Morning Adventures. He worked for the Ninja Turtles comics. He's worked for a whole bunch of other places as well. He's worked for NECA. He did the box art for the Turtle Van. He's worked for Mattel and apparently for the NBA as well.
yeah.
Sony, Universal, whole bunch of places. So great resume. How long have you been in comic books?
Um, I guess oh God, maybe 2005, somewhere around there. I started at Ape Entertainment, if anybody remembers what that is. Ape Entertainment was a company out in San Diego, and a lot of guys like Dan Schoening of Ghostbusters and a lot of other guys came up through there. That was a good place to like cut your teeth, and they got a lot of random IP work. They would do like Doodle Jump, Madagascar Penguins. They were getting like some of these other projects. So I started there years ago, and a lot of those guys at Ape Entertainment moved over to IDW. Oh man, I don't know, 2011, somewhere around there. So within that 5 year period.
Very nice. So you've been in comics a while. Is it right off the bat? Is it fun to be like so talented at drawing? You're very good at drawing. Is that like a fun skill to have? Is it cool to have like a good skill like that?
Truthfully, it's getting cooler. This is gonna sound like kind of maybe a little egotistical, but now dude, I'm 44. I'll be 45 this year. So I'm old man, middle-aged man. Um in the last like maybe 5 to 6, 7 years, maybe even like less than that, stuff actually starts to look like how you want it to look. You have more control over your craft. And when that happens, it becomes a lot more pleasurable because what you're seeing in your head, you can just translate it to the paper and it's more fluid. So imagine if somebody's playing an instrument for years and maybe at first they're trying to learn how to play the guitar, whatever the instrument is. And then one day it just happens and they're not thinking about playing it anymore. They're just doing it. And at least I feel like I'm like that. I don't know. People in the He-Man Origins fan group may not feel like that, but I feel like I have a little more control over what I'm doing, and that makes it kind of fun, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
yeah.
totally. And you're not like you're an artist. You're a typical artist, but in a lot of ways, like I mentioned, you're like a real guy. You're like a regular. Did you play sports when you were younger? It seems like a lot of artists are like,
Again, like I'm sure my old lady's laughing at all this. Yeah, I played sports and stuff like that. Is that the vibe I'm giving off? Is like sports guy
no,
or
no. I
what?
mean, just like regular guy. A lot of times you
Okay.
assume an artist and they're kind of a wallflower. And nowadays it seems like I don't know if the comic industry has changed. They're like pushing a different type of artist. And it used to just be like regular guys like you, just like a regular chill guy. And now it's
Yeah,
like gone a different direction maybe.
dude, when you were no, when I'm growing up in like the 90s and stuff like that, a lot of these guys are just like you said, they feel more. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna say like me or whatever, but I'm sure those bullpens, and I've heard some stories from the old school bullpens where they used to, if people don't know what that is, back in the day, when you would go to like Marvel or DC or something like that, you'd be working in-house a lot of times. You'd be working in studio. So you just have these big rooms full of guys drawing the comic books, and they might be helping each other. Oh man, I can't draw this plane, or man, what does J. Jonah Jameson's office look like? And they're all in the room together. And there was probably like a lot of cutting up going on. It was probably a lot more like a locker room.
Hmm.
Now we're all a bunch of hermits, and we all work we're all by ourselves all day, so that probably plays a little bit of a factor there. But yeah, I would think those 90s guys, I've heard a lot of funny cross gen. I don't know if anybody remembers cross gen was a late 90s early 2000s company that started out in Florida, but a lot of big like George Perez, John Dell, a lot of big guys working out there. I've heard some funny stories from there. Heard some funny stories. I'm one of my good buddies is Steve Levine.
Nice.
He's if you know, there's a Ninja Turtle channel, y'all should know. But he was Kevin Eastman. He went to high school with him, and he was pretty much the first Mirage employee.
Hmm.
And he's told me all kinds of fun stories about the Mirage days with those guys. And dude, it's a blast. Like it's cool.
Just
So
being like a fun group of guys, like a fun boys club kind of thing.
dude, yeah, they're just hanging out together. They're probably just getting stoned, drawing comic books, watching cartoons. Funny story. I was asking him one day because I was kind of doing like an homage to the Turtles 2 arcade game cover where they're all coming out on the skateboards.
Hmm.
And I was asking a lot, all the skateboards have these different designs on them. And I'm like, oh man, it must be like some fancy, maybe it was some message he was trying to send or something serious and artsy is going on. And I asked him what all the boards meant. And it was just like, oh, I don't know, like this movie was on in the background. Like this is what we were listening to. And it's just they're basically picking stuff off the wall, and that's like part of one of the most iconic turtle images, of the last ever. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. It's just the guys hanging out and making art, and you get cool stuff from that.
yeah, yeah, dude.
Yeah, and it's like what I was saying is, a lot of the artists I see nowadays, they have like the nose piercing, they have the septum piercing, and like the green and purple hair, and like they're wild, like strange personalities, and you're just like a regular guy. It seems like most comic people used to just be like regular guys like you, but now they're like tattooed up and have mohawks, and they're like rock stars almost. They're trying to put that image on.
Oh, look, man, my parents would never let me get a tattoo, so that's probably part of that. My dad would have killed me. He might kill me now if I got a tattoo. And no, I guess I mean it could just be like where I'm from or whatever, but yeah, there's definitely look. There's more you kind of hinted at it already that there's probably like a I'm trying to I'm trying to tread lightly, maybe like a cultural thing going on in comics.
Hmm.
And then there's also just like if you're going to be an artist and you're going to spend so much time working on these things, maybe you start leaning it could be circumstantial is what I'm saying. Like all my friends, they might have been into comics and in the 90s being into comics was cool. Like everybody was reading comic cards, but you would still go play basketball. Like it was all part of the same world.
Hmm.
So to me, it wasn't separate. And man, I don't know. Maybe that's just my life. I don't know.
Nice.
Kind of doubt it, but yeah, yeah.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, and they're. I didn't mean, I'm treading lightly as well. They're trying to appeal to a modern audience, I guess you could say. Maybe that's a
Right.
good euphemism. But they're looking for new blood. They're trying something new. They're going and, trying some, can't blame them.
Yeah, I can, but because I think they're killing the industry. But yeah, I mean that is. Also you got to think about this too. Like comics in the 90s, that's when I'm growing up reading them, 80s, 90s, mostly 90s. Dude, it was counterculture. Like
Hmm.
it was different to go into a comic book shop. It wasn't now, I guess ever since the advent of all the movies and things, it became much more popular and they're trying to make it more pop culture and trying to do all the things that I guess, we're talking about or not talking about. And but it was like this boys club. You'd ride your bike to the comic shop, you'd go get some pogs or some comic cards or you wanted to know what's happening with the new Bloody Image book, and there'd be advertisement for video games and Pop Tarts. And yeah, it just had like a different energy to it. And I guess around early mid 2000s or I don't know, things just started to change. And now I think it's also changing. I think now Webtoons is going to take over. I'm starting to think that's like probably the future, but I don't know what form that's going to take yet or who that. It seems like that audience is a lot more like tween girls, and so you have this big disparity. You have like this old guard, my age and above, that grew up reading comics and are buying toys, and then the other group of people that are reading comics and buying toys are like tween girls, but they
Hmm.
want whatever, they want Lore Olympus or they're interested in stuff like that.
Yeah, they grew up
Uh,
on the internet and Webtoons, by the way. Well, you mentioned it. You have two series on there, The Candlestick Club and Time Kids. Is it?
yeah, Time Kids is my creator owned, both of them are creator owned, but Time Kids is one that I'm gonna start pushing more. I'm gonna hopefully the goal right now is try to get into different markets and different avenues. So I have a lot of people that dude, you end up having it's not a big world. I don't know how many. I used to think the entertainment industry was a lot bigger
Mhm.
and a lot it's just not. And I'm at this very unique place in my life and in my career where it's time to do something new. It's kind of time to like separate myself from like the other stuff. Plus, I've burned all the bridges with all these other companies like Nickelodeon and everybody. I don't think I'll be going back. Um, and I want to start pushing my own IPs because otherwise you're just going to be like a cog in a machine.
Mhm.
You're never gonna excel. They're never gonna let you take the wheel. You know what I mean? There's gatekeepers every step of the way up.
Mhm.
Um, and so that's what I want to do with Time Kids. So Time Kids is what I'm working on now, and whatever, whenever my spare time is. And then I have another book that I'm working on, Candlestick Club. That one's a little more geared towards webtoons. I debate whether I would like to do it as a Kickstarter, but I feel like my audience is a lot. Sometimes it feels like they're like a younger, like them Doctor Who girls and stuff like that. Like maybe that's just the kind of stuff I write is more. I don't know. We'll see. That's where I'm at right now. But those are my two titles. Yes.
Yeah, Candlestick Club had like a cool kind of spooky gothic vibe a little bit. It was like kind of horror oriented with like the history stuff, and I thought that was cool. That's a unique path to go down. I'm familiar with you from the Ninja Turtle stuff. It's more the like cartoony type stuff. So it was interesting to see the darker side of Tim Lattie.
Well, look, the series is going to get like probably a little more silly and a little more fun, and I like doing stuff that's dude, I'm a fan of this as well. Like I told you before, I just cleaned up my office so it's nice and clean, but all behind me over here is like Ninja Turtle toys, Ghostbusters, all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm just trying to draw the things that I enjoy. And there's a lot of Easter eggs. Like with Candlestick Club and Time Kids, there's a lot of like Easter eggs and homages to the things that I grew up loving. And so like Candlestick Club specifically is got a lot of like Teen Wolf in it. It was actually a Ghostbusters pitch, believe it or not.
Nice.
So it was a Ghostbusters pitch that I was going to do called Tales from Raise a Cult Books, where it was going to be Kylie, the girl from Extreme Ghostbusters. She was going to be working at Raise a Cult bookstore, and basically any like the strange adventures that the Ghostbusters were too busy to take on, when they're busy fighting Sam Hain or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, she was going to take on those lower tier things. And of course it got rejected. And then people started telling me like, dude, you just need to make that your own thing. And it just kind of snowballed from there, where it was like this I don't know, it just came this like Halloween tribute, you know?
Mhm.
Uh
That's cool. You
yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
some of your work got rejected, and you feel like you might be like on the outs with Nickelodeon or something. Did something happen, or did they just kind of treat comic artists as, like you mentioned, like another cog in the machine, like you're just a brick in the wall? You could be like replaced or something.
I thought about this interview before we did it, and
Is
and
that a
I'm always
personal
debating.
question?
No, it's more. It's not personal. It's more like like you don't want to give away too much. It just ended. I had an issue with an editor, and there was this stuff going on, and you also got to take into consideration this that Nickelodeon is not. It's like here's Nickelodeon, and then IDW, NECA, loyal subjects, whatever. Like
Hmm.
then there's all these other people that are licensing the Turtle product,
Hmm.
and so there's like a hub at the top, and then they kind of like depending on what their level of interest is, they're not as interested in the comics as you might think.
Hmm.
So one guy is kind of overseeing that. They're more interested in the other IP stuff, like where it's going to be the movies and cartoon shows, all that kind of stuff. And then it would fall under these specific companies. And I don't know, dude. Like sometimes you ever seen that? It's like that Chappelle show thing, like where keeping it real goes wrong.
Oh,
Sometimes I
okay.
probably just say my opinion a little too much. And hey, dude, if they got the keys to the car, they can kick you out.
Nice.
Uh, essentially. So, if that
Well,
makes sense.
well, let Tim back in the car. Give the keys to the car to Tim.
I would love to. I had a lot of cool Ninja Turtle stuff. And right below you on my Twitter, because I don't go on Twitter too often, so right below our messages is a message to the guy from Nickelodeon. And I might shoot him another line. But it looks like they're going through a lot of stuff right now anyway. They looks like there's a lot of change going on and a lot of because I think they didn't they drop Tales from TMNT?
Yeah, Turtles have been in kind of a rough spot recently. Tales of the TMNT got canceled, and I saw the main comic book lost like 200,000 orders over the course of a year. And there was like a Last Ronin movie that was planned that was
Hmm.
canceled, and Mutant Mayhem 2 got pushed back a year. So it's been a little, Paramount was recently purchased by Skydance. There was like that big company merger.
Correct.
So new leadership, new ownership, moving stuff around, and maybe a little bit of a different direction. So things
And
are in
they,
flux.
yeah, and I think IDW might even got bought by him too. So I don't know what that means. Because they canceled Saturday Morning Adventures. Like that's over with. I think that Star Trek, some of the Star Trek stuff is over with. So there might be a lot of stuff going on. And yeah, I don't know. The other thing that I've noticed just working in entertainment in general is that people do move around quick.
Hmm.
Like so you might have an editor or you might have somebody that might be a contact at a studio or something like that. They might be gone and they're over here the next day.
Mm.
So people move around. There's not a lot of it's not like back in the day you might stay at a company for, you know, 40 years and retire with your gold watch. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of shifting going on.
Yeah, with like the like gig economy or whatever you want to call it, and it seems like they're getting artists from comic books are getting artists from the route around the world, and even animators from around the world. So much bigger talent pool and
Yeah.
a lot of different goals. But well, I appreciate that you're outspoken. You mentioned you just speak from the heart. I appreciate you're outspoken, and you're like I said, you're unique. It's refreshing, not like the other green-haired, septum piercing artists. So if you're an outcast, I'm an outcast. If this is some sort of pirate radio thing, I'd like to join the gang. I'd like you to join my gang. If we're
Yeah, man, dude. Give me a black headband. I'm ready.
yeah, if
I'm ready to go.
I'm kicked out of Hollywood as well. So
Dude, but it's but that's there's a beauty going on here too because again, comics was the counterculture. So or if you go back to like the 60s and stuff, it was really comics, COMIX, like Crumb and all those guys. That was really counterculture. Um and I think what ended up happening to your point, um it people okay. So back in the day, you're a Marvel artist or somebody of that nature. Eventually you there was a chain of command and then you would move up and then you might be an artist on a book for a decade and then you become the editor. And now you're editing. Denny O'Neil's a great example of that. Denny O'Neil was a Batman and Green Arrow writer
mhm.
and then he was the editor of all the Batman books. And you would think that they would just kind of keep that going, but for whatever reason, they started wanting to go after these literature majors and people like that have maybe they don't love I don't know all of them. I can't speak for all of them, but maybe they don't love comics and have that knowledge of the history that some of these old timers or some of these lifers might have. And I think that's probably where a lot of things went awry is that they started getting those English majors in there that didn't have an eye for art. And I was told this by an editor before that like dude it would take him like a couple years to teach these editors how to really understand art and that's assuming they ever did. And it's kind of like, man, like, wouldn't it just be better to get somebody that grew up reading comics, has worked in the industry, understood how it works, understood what a deadline feels like, understood, dude. There's another thing that comes into play here as well is that like when you're working on a book, whether it's SMA, Saturday Morning Adventures, any of this stuff, you're on a really quick deadline of getting these books out. There's a 3 month window that the writer's getting it to you, the artist, the colorist, the letterer, and then you got to go, get everything printed and stuff like that. And if somebody falls behind, you got to pick up the slack. That's its own problems in general. But dude, then you just have life. Something, so your dog could get sick. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like, or whatever. You get a flat tire, and that's going to affect how things look and stuff like that. And if you have people that haven't lived and haven't been in the trenches, and dude, it's a labor of love. I promise you that. It is a labor, especially in 2026. If you're still out there fighting and trying to draw comic books, you're doing it because you love it. Man, it might have been a better call to have people that understood that running the show. And I wonder if we would have been in a different place. That said, we do have the internet now, and everybody can be an entrepreneur, ideally. So I'm kind of say what I said earlier, or expand on that. I'm at that place now in life where it's like, all right, dude, put up a shut up. You know what I mean? Like, what else is there for me to draw that I
Hmm.
love growing up? Go do your own thing, man. You think you can do better? Go do better.
Nice. Yeah, you're forging your own path. You're a trailblazer. You're the Chad artist, not the Virgin artist in the meme. That was very true a few years ago. I still remember. That was very funny.
Oh, you
Um,
saw that? Okay, funny,
of
funny.
course, yeah, I remember that. That was great. I was so surprised when you reached out and tweeted me or whatever a few years ago after I reviewed your comic on stream. That was a great surprise. I mean, no one else was talking to me at all back then, so
Oh,
maybe,
really?
yeah, it
Okay.
was a nice surprise. Very
Well,
nice,
dude,
pleasant surprise. I'm honored we're speaking now too.
me too. Look, and it's funny because I'm talking to a turtle. But like, no, dude, it was I still think it's one of my favorites because it's like, yeah, it starts off like kind of normal, and then it's just like, yeah, interesting guy. Says he doesn't believe in dinosaurs and raises chickens, and I'm like, dude, this is beautiful. Like this is gold.
It's
Um,
just so cool. And you're from the South. I usually think of artists as being in like LA or New York. And you mentioned you have like chickens or whatever. You're outdoors, you're working with your hands. You're not just like a cliche limp wristed artist. You're like a regular guy.
yeah, I mean, I'm probably not that regular. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, like, dude, I used to work at a bar for a decade. So I was a doorman at a bar. That probably played a factor in it also. So I would just sit out there all night as people would come into the bar, and I'd just sit in my notebook and draw. And yeah, people used to love all that kind of stuff. So that was like kind of a cool. Actually, what happened was I got in a fight and I got fired, so there's a theme here. And and that's when I did a Kickstarter. And that Kickstarter was for Time Kids and it did very well. And that was literally when my career started. After Time Kids, I got my first IDW gig. It wasn't where it started, but where it really kind of took off. Followed after that came Ghostbusters and had a great run on there. And it's kind of gone, it's kind of progressed. And we're just kind of in one of these things also go up and down.
Hmm.
So it's feast or famine with comics or any kind of entertainment. So I'm also in that kind of place of like, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, where do we go from here? I think the He-Man thing's probably over with, possibly. Because there was a change of guards internally over there. They have a new guy running stuff, and I don't know. Maybe I'll get an email tomorrow to do some more, but I'm leaning towards I probably will not. Um, so yeah, I'm kind
Looking for the next gig to an extent.
of
Onwards and
maybe
upwards.
make my own. You know what I
Nice.
mean? Like maybe instead of letting somebody else, control your destiny, maybe do your own thing for once. I'm calling myself out right now, but yeah,
Oh, well, I'm fully supportive of that. I think that's really cool. And you mentioned that companies don't do like the type of development they used to do. There's no long-term career path. They don't keep people around and nurture them and let them grow and work with them. It seems like they just swap out people for new people instead of seeing how someone can grow over a period of years or it used to be decades.
yeah. Well, I mean, some of these guys, like think about somebody like a Jim Shooter, who I actually went to dinner with before he passed. It was awesome, man. Dude, he was just slugging wine like every time it was in, and just telling us cool stories about Todd McFarlane and old school like Marvel stories. And while we were sitting there at dinner, and Levine was there too. And yeah, like dude, he was like a teenager when he came in, you
Wow.
know? And he was dude, he walked around the Comic Con like he was still running the bullpen. And like he was and dude, he's a monster, man. Like I'm a reasonably tall dude. I'm 6'2". Dude, he had to be 6'4", 6'5", just, dominant. And yeah, he's the one that killed Jean Grey and stuff like that. Like when
Hmm.
this is a true story from the way I heard it, is that they were having, I guess it was Chris Claremont or whoever was writing it at the time, and they had this like stalemate of like where they were going to go with the Dark Phoenix story and what they were going to do. And dude, Jim Shooter's like, kill the bitch. Just kill her. Kill Jean Grey. So like, dude, you're dealing with that kind of person where you got this hard hitter like a shooter running around making tough calls at a young age in New York, to like, yeah, whatever we got going on today. But he was a lifer. That was his entire life was comic books.
Hmm.
He was,
It was a career. It wasn't just a gig. Now it's everyone's looking for their next gig and bringing new people on. How did you get the Saturday Morning Adventures job originally? That was like 2, 3 years ago. You did the original miniseries with Eric Burnham and Sarah Meyer. How did that come about?
it was man, it was just luck of the draw, to be honest with you. So you had it wasn't luck of the draw, but Tom Waltz, one of the writers for Last Ronin with Kevin Eastman, he was he was doing he was my editor. He had been my editor for 5, 6, 7 years at this point. So he was one of the main editors over at IDW.
Tom
And
Waltz,
that's who
great
we
guy. Tom Waltz is super cool. He's another
dude,
like regular cool guy in my book.
100%. He on on my way out of IDW, I made sure to write him a letter and or write him an email, and I was just like, dude, you're always straight with me. You're always a good dude. Definitely good dude. And he took care of me for a long time there over at IDW, and but they had their main crew of Schoening and Delgado and Burnham that
Mm.
had been doing that Ghostbuster run forever, and they were going to supersede me. But when Ghostbusters was going on, somehow in that mix, I ended up becoming like the Scrappy Doo of the team. You know what I mean? Where I was able to like tag along, and me and Dan got along great. Me and Lewis, I mean all of them. Lewis, I still I talk to them occasionally. Dan always likes my posts and stuff. And we're of the same mind. We think very similar about that 80s nostalgia, kind of how it should be done. Like he just gets it. Dan Schoening gets it. Lewis is phenomenal. Eric's great. And they we lost IDW lost the license for Ghostbusters. And so they were giving them work. And they were on Godzilla, or Dan was on Godzilla at the time. And so it was just one of those things where he was occupied. He probably would have been the first choice. And I think I just messaged Tom randomly about doing some just whatever. Is there any work available? And he was like, "Yeah, we might do like a Fred Wolf TMNT if you want to do some sketches for that." And dude, when that happened, I was activated and I was just sending in sketches. I was just like, "Fuck this!" Like I'm going for it. And ironically enough, at that same time, I had just met Steve Levine and we were becoming buddy buddy. And he ended up reaching out to me through the local comic shop that he wanted me to work with him on Shredder's Revenge.
Oh,
So
cool.
as I'm doing both of these, dude, both of these were coming at different times. So as I'm doing Shredder's Revenge, I'm getting scripts. SMA is not even announced yet. I'm getting scripts for Saturday Morning Adventures, and I'm sneaking in Easter eggs into Shredder's Revenge and stuff like that. So, man, it was I don't know. It was just one of those moments where it seemed like it was just I was I had a nice little run, uh, and yeah. So that's how I ended up there. Basically, just I guess I sent the right email at the right time, and I went after it.
How did that end? Was it just like deadlines are too quick paced? I mean, I know the turnaround is crazy.
No, it wasn't the deadlines. It was this was the stuff I was kind of like talking about earlier. I'm just gonna be professional about it. It was just difference of opinion.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Oh.
Yeah, I know how
Yeah,
that works. It's tough enough to work with regular people in a regular job, yet alone where there's creative input and all that. I couldn't imagine it.
it, look, I have you ever catch me at a bar or something like that? Trust me, I will not hold back. I will tell you all the secrets. But nah, dude, I just want to keep it cool. Like, dude, like sometimes things don't work out. Or you have,
Nice, no worries.
weird
Yeah,
stuff happens.
I enjoyed your stuff. You had
They
a
like we parted ways.
yeah,
And
you had great
that I
stuff.
on the NECA. And then I'm drawing Ninja Turtles again. So it just
It's
I
really
guess they
cool.
for a second.
Yeah, you did the box art for the turtle van. Looked really good. You have a great style. Really captured the old cartoony look super well. You also worked on Masters of the Universe. And did you see the new trailer that just came out a week or two ago for the movie?
I saw it. I'm a little more old school, so I'll probably dude, look, I love the Dolph Lundgren movie. I know that's not like people like lose their mind about it and stuff. I will put money I will put money on it right now, my Ninja Turtle channel. I bet you when it's all said and done, the Dolph Lundgren He-Man movie will be better than whatever's coming out this summer. Um I guarantee it, dude. I will
Yeah,
I don't
sometimes the reboots and the remakes just don't work out the way they want them to. It's just kind of corny sometimes.
Well, dude, we're talking about like Chads and stuff like that. And I want my He-Man to be like that as well. I don't even need the Prince Adam stuff. That was something that DC added there a long time ago. In the original mini comics, dude, he's just Conan. He's just this badass, jacked up dude, and he just goes off looking for adventure. and that's it. That's how He-Man starts originally. And I would have preferred that. I'd rather something like that. I think they're going to try to make it like reverse Barbie, where Barbie came to our world. Now they're going to take He-Man to Eternia, and I think they're going to try to make it like silly and I don't know. And that's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe everybody thought it was a great trailer. I wasn't. I'm lukewarm about it.
Yeah, I thought some things were interesting, but other things weren't as interesting. And yeah, I like the old one too. I think they have a lot of charm. Like the old stuff, it holds up well in a lot of ways. And young Courtney Cox and like you mentioned, Dolph Lundgren, all really cool. I only have the free version of Zoom, by the way. I'm a cheapskate.
Go ahead.
We only have 7 minutes left.
Okay.
I don't even run any ads on my videos or anything, so it's I'm just doing it out of the love of the game. But
Yeah.
I put your link tree in the description, so everyone go follow Mr. Tim Lattie on Instagram and Twitter and all of his other sites. Check out the stuff on Webtoons. Support him. You have a Patreon as well. Go sign up for that if you're a Patreon guy out there. And I just wanted to say you're a cool guy. I appreciate you following me all these years, and you truly are the 6'2" Giga Chad artist.
I don't know if I'm Giga Chad level, but yeah.
Compared compared to some of these other comic artists, you're like the essence of masculinity. So,
brother, I told you before. My old lady's watching this. You were giving me points out of this world right now, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm the excellent wingman as well here.
Right, just killing it. I need you to write. If we ever break up, I need you to write my hinge. But no, dude, and she's gonna lose her mind over that. But no, look. I think there's a lot of great creatives out there that want to do a good job. It's just dude, it's just the way the industry is. It's just tricky. And man, I think we're gonna see a guard change soon. I think we're gonna see a lot more people popping up. The cream might rise to the top over time because it looks like these companies are not doing that great. So we'll see.
Well, that's cool. Well, this was the end of the interview. Did I do an okay job? I think you're only like the 10th person I've interviewed. I'm not good at it all. I haven't done an interview in over a year either, so I'm rusty. The tech problems. It's a little rough, but hopefully this was okay. Love to have you back sometime.
Dude, I'll come back whenever you want, man. I clearly have no trouble talking, so.
Oh, great. And I love the rebellious attitude as well. And that's fun to be around. It's refreshing. And like I said, all your art is great. I'm really happy to speak with you. And I appreciate all the kind words tonight. And thanks for not unfollowing me on Twitter. All my controversial tweets and my provocative memes. I don't know what I'm talking about, but.
No, I love it, dude. No, I eat it up, so it don't bother me.
What you got to do to get some attention? All the other Ninja Turtles channels have banished me. I'm an outcast as well, so.
Oh, I didn't know that. Really? Okay.
Yeah. That's how it goes. So if you get any guff for speaking with me, I apologize. But
I'll survive.
They'll call me every name in the book. They'll call me all sorts of names, and some of them are true, but some aren't. So that's the way it goes. Peanut galleries always making up, chatting about people. I'm interesting. What can I say?
Oh, right. No, dude, I didn't know it was a band thing. But I mean, whatever, dude. Like, everybody needs to chill out too. With all this stuff. But yeah, no, I was happy to do it. I enjoy your content. I think it's funny.
Oh, great. So, thank you so much. And seeing that you commented on one of my videos like a month or so ago made my day. So it was a real surprise to see. So.
Okay, I appreciate that. No, that's a rare comment. I must have sparked something, but yeah. No, dude, I do like to check it out every now and again when I'm scrolling through and stuff. And dude, you're killing it, man. You're killing it with followers and stuff. So you're doing something right.
Oh, well, thanks so much. Everybody go follow Tim Lattie and everything. What a great guy. I guess that's it. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I'm sorry for the tech problems earlier.
Oh, you good to go, brother. I appreciate it.
You're the man, Tim. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye. Well, that's that. That's Tim Lattie. What a guy. Let's give him a round of applause. Can you believe that? What a nice guy. Talented guy as well. Talented artist. Didn't make fun of me for all the tech problems. What can I say? Nice guy. Cool guy as well, like I said. He's the 6'2" Giga Chad artist compared to all the other wimpy, limp-wristed, pink-haired, septum-piercing artists. So I guess that's going to be the show tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I do appreciate it. We had a good night. Some tech problems. Hopefully we bounced through it. Everybody tuned in. Veronica, Mega Man, Sammy, Pineapple, JR24, Lichcrafter. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. It's a fun night. Stephen Murphy, everyone else. I do appreciate it. Gosh, I've said it all. Tim said it all, apparently. Tim said it all and burned his bridges. He said it all. Perhaps he said too much. And I guess there's just one thing left to say. Cowabunga! Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment and share this video. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more Ninja Turtles videos like this.